when it comes to social media, it's about brand awareness and audience nurturing. The audience nurturing is the engagement part. The brand awareness things is
Tell us about brand awareness.
It has to work or it has to work.
So brand awareness is, of course, where how do I get more followers? How do I get more eyes to my profile? The biggest way to do that is what is the platform putting energy to, right? So right now, like YouTube has YouTube Shorts and they're putting a whole lot of energy on that. Okay, I'm not going to fight the system. We're on rented property. I don't own YouTube. I don't own Instagram. I don't own TikTok. So let me play the game that they want so they can give me the reach that I need, right? So I'm going to do that with adding value. Now, everybody says, yo, how do you add value? Like, all right, I hear it all the time. There's 3 ways: functional, emotional, and life-changing value, right? So functional is the tips, tricks, right?
Got it.
Give me 3 things to do this way. Okay, cool. That's the functional. That's really good for new people. That's for the brand awareness, right? Because now you're saying, okay, try this. They try it. Oh, snap. It worked. Yeah. I'm here now, right? Boom. The emotional, which people will get caught up in thinking, oh, I have to make people cry. But it's really emotional / entertaining, right? Because how are we getting people distracted from reality? How are we lessening their anxiety, right? How do we become a positive outlet for them? And that's like behind the scenes stuff. That's telling a story, being a little bit transparent about your life.
So my daughters, y'all, so man.
That and showing your family is one of those.
Got it. So lately, y'all, my daughter's been like my 17-year-old, right? I'm really trying to better understand her, help her as a father, and I'm learning. Can y'all give me some advice on what's some things you wish your parents would have did for you when you were 17?
Right there. And that's like, first off.
Now they.
And then that also triggers the person who's in your same position that is going to read those comments and then reply to some of the, yo, that was good. Yo, you know? Ooh. So now people are feeling closer to you because they're like, yo, I need the same advice. Yeah. Yo, I'm reading the comments just like how you are. But then other people are like, yo, he needs my help. I got you. No worry. Like, I'm following you for a reason, right? So that's more of, okay, that's the audience nurturing. But also another thing of the audience nurturing is going to your insights and looking at your highest performing shares, comments, and everything. Like, why? Because that literally tells you what the audience wants. Your content blueprint is in your insights. It's not within a strategist. It's not with anything. You've already created the data. It's about reading it now, and not a lot of people read their insights.
Tell us how you read the insights.
So
that's good.
So if we look at, let's say,
you already have to have the data already,
right?
First.
Like if you post
like me, I have the data. Of course,
you have a lot, but let's say somebody had just posted a month straight, right? You have data now. You have things that's like, and I don't want people to get caught up in like what we wanted to have. Right? Because people get discouraged and stop doing social media because, oh, I didn't get enough likes. Yeah. Well, what's your definition of enough likes? Because where in any book, in any law says to be successful, you need to have this amount of likes, this amount of views, this amount of comments. There's nowhere in the world that says this is what a successful social media profile looks like. We just look at others and we say that's successful. But us being already on social media, which is already awkward, is successful. In my eyes, it is, right? Because it's about one person. However, if we're talking about, let's say, Instagram, if we go into our insights and we go and we check comments, if we go and we check shares, if we go and we check saves, these are actions that our audience is doing, right? We could pay for likes, right? We can get real active with the plays. We may have just done a really dope trend or whatever, right? But our audience is engaging with these particular ones. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to see what I did, what type of format of content that I created, but also I'm going to look at the topic because, oh, you like that topic? I can say it in a different way. And I'm going to get similar results to that because I already know you like it, right? So for like me, I know people like when I give the tips and the updates to social media. right? So content creation tips and social media updates, I know that, right? If I do something else, they may like it. So when I need to make sure my audience is good, here's a social media update. Oh, there's all the shares and this. I'm not going to fight data. I may not like it because it starts to get more of a routine.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to fight that. If I'm trying to grow and I'm trying to allow my audience to be a marketing team that I don't have to pay for, I have to cater to my audience and give them what they want.
That's good.